Good morning, folks. It's a beautiful, bright, sunny Wednesday today. All these books are written by doctors, Western MBBS medical doctors. More and more doctors are getting frustrated that their messages are not getting through. Now, some of these books are how to get fitter, but a large number are actually focused on obesity, as you can see. So, all throughout human civilization or evolution, it was always undernutrition was the problem, whereas now quite a number of should I say, population, particularly suffering from overweightness, which is overfatness. It is not about muscle or bone, it is just we are getting fatter. Now, in the past, the poorer population, less advantaged population, they were lean and malnourished. And now, interestingly, because of government subsidies in some of the nations, the poorer population are getting also quite obese and having exactly same metabolic consequences of being overweight. Now, like politics, like religion, this is a field of medicine and field of science where there are more differences in opinion than unanimous or unity. But the few things everybody will agree with you. If you go to the blue zone area, where people live longer, people are more healthy, and they die quite mature, like 90, 100, beyond 100. One thing is common, and what is that thing? That thing is this thing, that their diet is predominantly plant-based. And unless we learn how to make our plant-based diet palatable, vegetarian I mean, we can never, almost never, unless you are an exceptional outlier, have good health. But the problem is that it's difficult for some people unless you change your mindset about vegetables being bland, vegetables being difficult to cook, vegetables being difficult to keep in the fridge because they rot. Any good food rots fast, and interestingly, you can deep freeze chicken or meat or fish. But if you deep freeze this, what will happen when you unfreeze or thaw? The cell wall will be broken because the water inside them will expand, and the taste of this vegetable will be horrible. I mean, this will be nothing like these fresh vegetables. So when you cook fresh vegetables, remember you have to soak it in water to get rid of all the dirt and pesticide and whatnot. Yeah. And the way to eat vegetables, you can either cook your vegetables with spice or herbs, because you need to season it up. Pure vegetables is tasteless. However, you can have raw vegetables like avocado, pepper, cucumber, tomatoes as salad, but not all vegetables are amenable to be saladed. That's a new verb, maybe. So, cauliflower, aubergine, sweet potatoes, butternut squash. So, some of the vegetables are very carb loaded, but even then, this carb is way better than the carb you find in grains, rice, wheat, oat, barley, and all that stuff. Yeah. And be sure to take some berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. Try to avoid non-berry, high sugar, artificially engineered fruits which are available 24/7 around the season, like bananas, like apples. We used to tell one apple a day keeps doctor away, but I don't think that's true anymore, because apples are way sweeter than before, and you can have apple juice, which is a really toxic mix because there is no fiber at all, and you are just squeezing everything. Easy to drink. You will probably drink way more apples than you should. So coming back to the other vegetables, this mushroom is very good for gut health. So is any green vegetables, but particularly artichoke is another one. Now, the other way of eating vegetables other than raw as salad or cooked is actually antipasti, like soaked in brine or soaked in olive oil with little herbs, as you can see. So this is pickled, like Western European style. We do pickle in a different style. In India, our pickle is to be properly cooked. You can't just throw everything in a mix and wait to it to be pickled. We pickle by choice. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to make an Indian pickle. And then there are probiotics like this is kimchi, radish. Then there are sprouted seeds, extremely nutritious. The same seed, if you allow them to sprout, their nutrition value goes up many fold. And then there are seeds. Now seeds again are tasteless unless you roast them, unless you spice it up a bit. And finally, my favorite sugar thingy is dry mango and apricot, and everything dry because it is easy to carry. It doesn't perish that easily. You don't have to freeze it. So if you do have a sugar craving, then keep your sugar ready, because when you crave, it is there. So I will always have a box of fruit and try to eat that towards the end of the day rather than the beginning of the day, because the idea is to keep the low insulin level by not giving body carbohydrate in the early part of the day. That's one option. But again, as I said, there is always a debate going on. Should we be eating carbohydrate when the body is actually active and looking for energy? The one camp will say that yes, don't give carbohydrate then, because body is now active. You are going out doing your day job, your body is looking for energy, so that's the time body will go into ketosis and extract the energy burning the fat, because that's where fat depots are. I mean, we store our excess calorie as fat so that when time comes we can extract. But the problem is that because we are not metabolically resilient anymore, we find it very difficult to extract fat from the fat store, and we feel dizzy, we feel that we don't have energy. So that's why it is best to switch, do a cycles. So rather than following a ketogenic camp or keto diet camp or low carb diet camp or any diet camp, be variable, be fluctuating, keep fluctuating your tactics so that the body will never have any idea what is coming. Sometimes you even give body a carb loading, maybe once a week, maybe twice a week. And when I say carb loading, I'm not telling you to go overboard, just more than you normally would do, because body needs to be able to handle carb. If you one day if you give the body carb, the thing is insulin will go up, but is the spike up and down, or is the spike staying high for a long time? That's the bad thing. If it goes up and down, that's okay. Now the thing is, in many religions, many cultures, people will fast, intermittent fasting, meaning you're fasting anyway. It is not new to us. We fast, all of us fast during sleep. You just prolong the fast, either this end or that, and that's all it is about. Majority probably would like to extend the fast towards the evening rather than in the morning, because all this all our parents generations have kept this this idea that eat your breakfast like a king. Not everybody wants to eat breakfast like a king because they don't feel hungry, and they're busy, they're getting out of the house. So as a result, what everybody does, and that's my daughter's breakfast before going to school, is this. She will just heat up some milk and pour, and this is very unhealthy if you're not a growing teenager girl or boy or pregnant. Then it's okay. But if you're not any of this, then having this is going to ruin the whole metabolic day for you, because you're going to spike your sugar, and then you're going to spike your insulin level, and then you will stop all the fat burning. The more insulin you have got in your system, the less fat you will burn, because insulin is a storage hormone. So those diabetic people, type 2 diabetic patients who are going on to insulin, it's a very bad news, in a sense that we should explore everything about how to control the blood sugar rather than escalating from metformin to insulin, because diabetes is in most situations is a reversible. Because if you go on to vegetable predominant diet, and in that group also keep your root vegetables bit on the lower side and try to completely avoid grains, the blood sugar can come down to normal level within 2 weeks. Yes, and that's not me. I'm a gastroenterologist. I'm hearing it, reading it, seeing evidences from studies from endocrinologists, diabetic expert, metabolic health expert. So you have to think why diabetes happens, why blood sugar goes up, because I'm eating sugary food, not fat, sugary food, carbohydrates, simple or complex, and then the blood sugar will go up. As a result, insulin goes up. But now, because you have saturated your insulin system, the insulin is not working because liver doesn't want to allow any more sugar into the liver to be stored at fat, because your liver has become fatty liver. It is bursting with fat, and this fat is not coming from fat. This fat is coming from the carbohydrate, right? The root vegetables less, because who eats root vegetables regularly other than potatoes? It is mostly rice or wheat, bread, pasta, and all that dirty carb, I call this. You won't believe that you think rice and wheat is not sugary, so it's okay to have if you have got type 2 diabetes. Do your continuous glucose monitor check. See, this is one of the devices, Dexcom. There are many devices. I have used a device called Freestyle Libre, and I ate a bowl of oat porridge, Quaker's oat or something like that, and I felt good because sugary food makes us feel good, because that's what they do. The tryptophan and serotonin and feel good. But I saw my sugar level went way up just after a bowl of milk with oats. So this is pure sugar. You don't think it is sugar, but chew it for a little while. Inside your mouth, it will taste sugary. So that's it. So read if you want to read, but I'm giving you the summary. If you want to be like people in the blue zone, living healthy, living happy, key areas: make your diet plant-based. I love my meat, I love my chicken and egg and everything, but predominantly fill your stomach with lots of good plant food. And if you don't know how to cook plant food, see videos. There are many videos. Whatever your taste is, if you're South American, North American, European, there's always some vegetarian dish. And if you want to come to the land of vegetarian cooking, that's India. We there's some communities who will eat only vegetarian food, and their vegetarian food is so good that you don't want to even eat chicken or fish or meat. Second, sunlight. Get out of the house. Okay, don't stay indoor. And all these lights, nothing compared to this beautiful bright light, and that resets your clock. Third thing, engage in communities. Actively participate in community stuff. Actively look after the health, mental, physical health. Help your colleagues. Make a network, not for profit, not to manipulate people, just to help them, be part of their life. And these three things, and leave a mark in your job. So don't just do your job for mortgage or to pay the bills and stuff. Do your job as if it is God has sending you to do God's job through whatever job is. It doesn't matter whether you are a porter in the hospital or a consultant in the hospital or a chief executive in the hospital. Whatever is your skill, serve. Just serve. Don't expect love. Don't expect praise. But give praise. Give love. Does it make sense? That is where the true happiness will come. Be the master of your craft. Hone your skills every day. Learn what you teach more. Be a student all the time. Okay, so I'm going to stop now. 13 minutes, 33 seconds, unscripted, blah, blah, blah. But remember, one day I will go, but hopefully these will continue to make you think. What are we doing? What are we eating? You are what you think. You are what you eat. Have a great day.